The report processed the findings of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the authority.
The committee recommended that the Auditor General conducts a special audit into the cost of roads in Kampala within 6 months from the date of adoption.
The government's budget for the financial year 2023-2024 revealed a 2.2 trillion loan had been secured to address flooding, traffic congestion, poor roads, infrastructures, and unsignalized junctions in the greater Kampala metropolitan area. These funds are projected to upgrade 504 kilometers of roads, including junction signalization in 8 urban authorities. However, all this seemed to be a drop in the ocean as Kcca continues to grapple with the same issue. The government secured other funds from the African Development Bank, a project costing $288 million to oversee rehabilitation and reconstruction of over 30 roads across the city. Following the alleged inflation of road reconstruction units, the Kcca's Deputy Executive Director David Luyimbazi and the Director Engineering Department Augustus Akankwasa have come out to clarify on the ongoing rehabilitation works project.
We've received about $288 million from African Development Bank to reconstruct, rehabilitate about 69 kilometers of roads in Kampala. We've signed 4 contracts of those. And why am I taking this approach? Because somebody may say we've gotten $4 billion and it's going to cause a market change in the condition of roads in Kampala. No, because the roads are dead, we have to look at different ways of mobilizing resources.
The drainage on our roads, we have covered drains, culverts, and they run on 2 sides of the roads. That is a cost. Then we have the pavement itself, and this pavement is not the ordinary pavement. It's because of the traffic of Kampala. The pavement is designed in such a way that it is fit for purpose. So we have where we grade the road, then put the gravel, compact. Then you have seen us put like some things called like stones. In our language we call it CRR, crushed rock. And then after that we compact, we put something to seal, which we call primer. And then we put a big thickness of asphalt, compact, and give you a road. And that is a cost.
Examples of roads from each lot include the first lot with reconstruction of 4.4 kilometers of Wamala Road along Ntinda Chisasi at a cost of 6.17 billion per kilometer, including general costs. Under the same is 2.02 kilometers of Mutesawan Road, which was upgraded to a paved status at a cost of 5.86 billion per kilometer, including general costs. Under the second lot, widening and setting up of signals of 3.46 kilometers of the old Portobello Road, Spring Road, including 2 junctions which were implemented at a cost of 5.4 billion, including the general costs. 5th Street, 6th Street, 7th and 8th Street on Namuwongo Road in industrial area were also reconstructed under the third lot of works at a total cost of 24.07 billion, inclusive of the general costs. Lot 4 included the reconstruction of 8.1 kilometers of Salama Road in Machindye and widening of the Kasubi Northern Bypass at a cost of 4.5 billion and 5.2 billion respectively. The Masiro Road in Lubaga is being constructed under Lot 5 of the project with a stretch of 2.1 kilometers costing 8.1 billion respectively.
The unit cost, for example, for Chira Road, let me give an example for Kayemba Junction, which has both a junction and a structure. You see it is 9.8 billion. But then, when you go to another road, and I pick it like for example, Muzito Road, you find it is 5.7 billion. So you'll see 5. Even there is a one for 4.5. Queensway, 4.5 what? Billion. So I want to assure the public that these contracts have been sourced in a competitive way, and we have got prices which reflect value for money.
It is worth noting that most of the paved roads have served far beyond their full design lifespan of 20 years and are due to overhaul or reconstruction, which explains the high prevalence of potholes and other road damages.
Span of the roads we're constructing is 15 years. But some people are asking, you mean in 15 years we do another road? The answer is no. That's the design life, but it can be prolonged even to 30 years if you maintain it very well. And an example is these roads. You have Kampala Road here. All of you have you are born when you saw Kampala Road. It's there, and its design life was not 100 years. It was around 10 years, but it's still there because it has been maintained very well.
With regard to forward maintenance of roads through pothole filling, some potholes are created and left out, resulting into accidents.
Because the economy was still peaking. But as of now, that policy of cutting and leaving, you will not see it. You will not see it. Those which you see were cut long ago. But when we cut, immediately we do what? We fill. So you are very right, and I agree with you. We are not supposed to cut and leave for months. We are supposed to cut and what? And fill.
Emphasis was also put on ground follow-ups during infrastructure reconstruction.
So we had a little affirmation on what is really in the documents, but we're skeptical on what is on ground. So as council, we agreed that let the Committee of Engineering be in touch with what is going on ground.
As the authority longs to reshape the city's infrastructure, the main challenge it faces from the public is acquisition of right-of-way, hence delays in the works.
Everybody who is along our roads, if we ask you 3 feet, please give it voluntarily. We do not. This is a donor-funded project, and government is supposed to give right of way, and we are all government. We need to embrace development so that we get these funds utilized quickly and in the right way.
Relatedly, delay in revamping of such infrastructure has birthed issues of flooding in the city. Kcca, however, calls for public's participation in reducing floods as a short term, as the city works on the long-term solutions.
We also need to be responsible as citizens. I think you have watched when it rains in Kampala. You have watched at the narrow points of the drainage system. What do you find there? Bottles and bottles and bottles and Kasasiro and and Kavera and everything, including old clothes. So we are also dumping waste into our drainage system. And that's what sometimes causes the blockage of these systems.
Banana peels, you find there, Vera, everything coming from up where garbage has been now dumped and comes into drainage channels. I want to ask the people and the citizens of Kampala, let's manage our solid waste responsibly. We shouldn't dump it anywhere because it will help us also to manage floods.
Following the President's directive of having all those constructing in wetlands to vacate, Kcca believes that the move will play a pivotal role in addressing flooding in the cities, since wetlands act as catchment areas for water.
Then another issue, which is the cause of floods, are people invading wetlands, and I think it is very, very wrong for people to start invading these wetlands. And that also goes with the people who construct over drainage channels and close to drainage channels. So still, we need the cooperation of people.
Hakim Kcca, a councillor sitting on the City Executive Committee, says there are a lot of buildings constructed in wetlands without approval, and the technical wing at the Kcca is quiet about it.
Actually, many assertive members of the city are questioning that do we have professional planners, do we have professional building inspectors, or we just picked people outside there and we named them under those titles. So it's one of the issues which must be questioned, but it is as a result of the impunity which is in Kampala, whereby the technicals do not appreciate and respect the elected people, and the elected people hold the responsibility and the mandate of the entire public.
Kampala City has a total road network of 2,100 kilometers, of which only 30% are paved roads, while the rest, accounting for 70%, are unpaved or earth roads. However, with the funding from government to have this situation turned around, Kcca is still constrained by the limited budget provisions to having the city's infrastructure revamped. We should note that a fully reconstructed road should have elements of road signals, street lights, and drainage channels, among others. These roads are projected to be completed in a period of 3 to 4 years. Justine Nakami, UBC News.